And then we go for the mortgage and they're like, nah, nope. We just bought a house and got a mortgage as two self-employed folks in this crazy market. Do I recommend it? No. Was it easy? Also no. But we did it, and there are a ton of things I wish someone would have warned us or at least told us about at the get-go, which is why I'm here to warn you, especially if you're self-employed, but even for regular employed people, I've got a lot of tips out there on how to find a house, how to put in the right offers, how to find the right realtor, and get you a home. So keep watching. Chapter 1 of this video is going to be talking about getting a mortgage if you're self-employed. Chapter 2 is going to be about finding the right realtor. Chapter 3 is going to be about making a competitive offer, because it's really hard to beat out the all-cash offers, but it's not impossible. And chapter 4 is going to be about that dang appraisal and how much money you need at closing. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional. These are just what I've learned from my own personal experience. All right, so let's go. Chapter 1, getting a mortgage if you're self-employed. They need a 2-year income average. Here's where we were ill-advised and really went into the whole house hunting process like 6 months too early and almost didn't get the house because we almost didn't get the mortgage even though it was promised to us. Here's what's tricky. They say you need 2 years of tax returns so they can average your income, but here's what nobody informed us. It's actually your business tax returns that are important. I'm a sole proprietor, so my income just goes on our personal taxes, but my husband owns his own company, and if you own more than 25%, they need your business tax income. And all that information, they're gonna need your profit and loss, everything they need. Like, it's just insane. We got in trouble because my husband's fiscal year for his company is different. We were advised as soon as you do your taxes, you can get a pre-approval and start shopping. So that's what we did. And they gave us pre-approval based on our personal taxes, and nobody told us, oh hun, no, actually we need 2 years of your husband's business taxes. So we went through the whole headache of shopping in this market, like 12 rejected offers, one that was rejected and eventually offered the house to us. And then we go for the mortgage and they're like, nah, nope. It was like the most stressful weeks. Basically, the pre-approval folks is one level of looking into your finances, but once it goes in for the mortgage, it goes to the underwriters who have this whole system and calculations, and the computer was just spitting out no. And he's like, yep, sorry, it's not gonna work. So we went to another mortgage broker who was supposedly some like whiz genius, and he's like, well, I'm calculating if you put 25 instead of 20% down, your debt to income ratio will be good enough that we can give you the house. So then I went back to the original mortgage broker and he's like, yeah, that might work. So we just pushed through and eventually it all worked out. So there is some leeway there. If you can put more down, you can get by with a smaller income, because what they had to do for the 2 years income, they had to use my husband's first year tax return from his company, which was only like 6 months of the company being in business, but it was during COVID and they made like almost no money. So they had like that almost zero income year averaged with his second year, which was good. And then they didn't count this third year, which is almost complete but not complete. So his income was like ridiculously low, which is why we had to go ahead and put the 25% down, and it all worked out in the end. But if you're self-employed, just double check all the numbers, the tax returns, make sure everything is good, and be crystal clear about what house you can afford and what mortgage you will be offered. Chapter 2, finding the right realtor, and you do need a realtor, and you need a kick-ass realtor who is going to go the extra mile, because this market is so intense. And if you don't have someone who has a great team with great innovative ideas on how to get you that house, you're just gonna make offers and offers and offers and rejection and rejection and rejection. And we went through this with our first realtor, who was a lovely lady and came recommended to us, but she just had zero help for us. All of the tips I was coming up with myself and bringing them to her, and I was finding them all on Facebook on groups such as Into the Unknown, which is a great group. Join it if you need help. So eventually my best friend in the whole wide world got a house on her own and had a really amazing realtor, and basically asked him to find someone for us, and he did, and she was amazing. That first weekend that we were with her, my husband and I went on our own to a few open houses, and we told her we really loved 2 of them, we wanted to put an offer. Our old old realtor would have been like, okay, I'll put in the offers, I'll send them you today. But no, this realtor was like, I'm gonna go to the houses myself tomorrow. That way I'll see them and I'll have a better way to advise you on how to make your offer competitive. And I wanna meet these realtors and the owner, because one of them, the owner was the realtor. And she's like, I wanna meet them and we're gonna get one of them. I was like, wow, you go girl. This is the kind of above and beyond that can really set a realtor apart. She also had a great team. She works for Compass. It was amazing. And they would kind of like brainstorm with what they were all hearing from their clients and about what got this house sold, different things that they're hearing and tips and stuff. So she really had a great idea on the house that we eventually got. We were offering a certain number and she was like, I know that's your max, but I'm gonna suggest just going like a few thousand over, because she was expecting, you know, 20, 30 offers on this house being in this 50,000 kind of range. And she's like, just offer like a few thousand more just to get you out of that pile and into like the slightly more like competitive pile. And we did that and we were second, third, fourth, I don't know. We were like top 5. And we knew this because she was in close communication with that realtor, because she had made that connection. Ultimately, they chose an all cash buyer. It happens a lot. Then a week later, he called her and he's like, they ghosted us and you're next in line. And boom, that's the house we ended up getting. Yeah, we did not write any love letter or anything like that. It's just our realtor made a personal connection. We had made a personal connection because we went as a family and it was the owner who was the realtor. Him and us and our realtor, we were all twin parents and it was just this crazy like personal kind of feeling. We really lucked out, but had we not had this go get 'em kind of realtor, I don't think it would have happened. I really don't. The realtor, so important. So important that you're on the same page about what you want, what they can get you. Find a good one. Don't settle on this. If someone is not going above and beyond for you, find a new one. Don't waste their time anymore and don't waste yours. I will link our realtor below if you're looking for someone in New Jersey, especially Bergen County or Essex County. She's your girl. I'll link her below. Chapter 3, the competitive offer. This is really, really hard. The first few weeks of searching, we quickly realized that looking at houses for the price we wanted to buy them for was not gonna cut it, because in the market, everything we were looking at was going for 10 to 20% over asking. So we had to like look at our max budget and look at stuff 10 to 20% cheaper so that we'd be able to offer that competitive over ask. Knowing the comps, which are comparable houses which have recently sold, very important. And again, with a great realtor, they can help you out, but you can also go to sites like Zillow, Compass. You can find all the information there. You can search by sold recently and zip code and whatever. Some other things that we had to kind of like do that didn't feel great, but we had to do them anyway, or else we wouldn't stand a chance. A lot of people are waiving the inspection completely, which for me, that was terrifying. And I was like, no, there's no way I'm doing that. But we did decide to waive the inspection to a point. So basically we said, we'll get an inspection for informational purposes only, like so we know what we're getting into, but it will be limited to major environmental, structural, and safety issues. So things like the foundation is terrible, or it's infested with termites or mold or whatever. Those are things that we could get out of the contract if there were big problems there. But we could not, let's say the hardwood floors are like creaky or need to be refinished. Things that you could negotiate the price years ago on, we're not gonna fly for negotiating this time. They were just like, hey, you're gonna have to suck it up. Like for us, the air conditioner is 20 years old. Well, you know what? It's probably gonna break in a few years and that's on us. It is what it is. But at least we got the inspection. We feel good that it's not a lemon and that we were protected to back out of the contract if something crazy came up, like $100,000 job to fix that foundation. Like you don't wanna get stuck with that kind of a house. Like, oh my God. We also had to waive the appraisal. We started out waiving the appraisal up to 50,000 and in the end we just said, we waive it completely, because I think we were pretty confident in the comps, as our realtor was, that it wasn't gonna be appraised like 100,000 under. So we did waive the appraisal as part of our competitive offer. And that brings me to Chapter 4, the appraisal and closing costs. Basically, you apply for your mortgage and you get approved, and they have to send an appraiser who is a third party, not connected to any of the banks. Nobody knows who it is until after it's done. They go to the house, go in the house, around the house, do research about recently sold houses and the market in that area, and they're supposed to just really get a good idea of the value of that house. And the bank needs this if you're getting a mortgage, because they will not give you a mortgage for more than what the appraiser says the house is worth. And this is important here. If you waive the appraisal like we did, there was no way out of it. Even if the house was appraised for 100,000 under, we were still stuck to buying that house. And here's what happens. The bank says, okay, we're gonna give you a mortgage on the appraised amount. For us, we had to do the 25% down payment on the appraised amount. And then any amount between the appraisal and the accepted offer price, you have to come up with in cash. We appraised 39,000 under. So not only did we have to come up with the 25% down payment, we suddenly had to come up with 39,000 extra cash. Oh my God. Going into it, we thought we were gonna put 20% down. So we had the extra 5% and the 39,000, and it was like, suddenly we were like, oh my God, can we do this? Can we do this? It was really scary for a hot minute. And then, like at the very last minute, 2-3 days before closing, you finally get your statement of your closing costs. And you know what? It was another 20,000. Oh my God. We literally emptied out our savings account. Emptied. We have a lot invested in stock market and various things, but if you do too, you know that the market right now for that is like, whee! So we really didn't want to have to pull anything out of there, so we just kind of winged it, and thankfully both of our paychecks came in right after closing, and then we were like back to being okay. But we have never been this low in our lives, and it's really scary to do that. This is why I'm making this video for all you out there who really don't know what you're getting into and maybe should have more facts than we did. I thought I knew everything. I was not expecting our mortgage to almost fall through and us to have to put 5% extra down. I was not expecting 20,000 closing costs. Our moving costs are going to be like 5,000. So this is just it's painful, but I am so grateful that one, we had the resources to even buy a house. Two, that we had the luck and the perseverance to actually fight through the market and like get a house. And three, to have family on both our sides, that if something happened, like we even looked into how much you can gift someone per year per person without it being taxable. And it was a pretty good amount. So we almost came to that, but in the end we were like, no, we've got this. We've got this. So anyway, that is our update. Those are my warnings, and yeah, it's been a crazy 2022, and all of this for us just added to the craziness. We are officially moving from New York to New Jersey in 3 days. We're all getting packed up and living in this like in-between state right now, but super excited for the move and the new house and new neighbors, and I just, it's very exciting. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video to help anyone who needs help out there and give what I've learned. And stay tuned because we'll be doing a new house tour. Maybe I'll do one on the actual moving, because oh my gosh, there are so many things you have to do, especially between states, like changing all the car stuff, the insurance. We're on Marketplace health insurance, and that's a whole headache. Driver's license, credit cards. I have this like long checklist, so maybe I'll make a downloadable for that. What do you think? Should I? Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to know anything about our process or groups that I found helpful, or websites, or you know, our movers, our realtor, our lawyer, all this stuff. Happy to help you out as best I can. So leave a comment and be sure to follow for our move and more. Good luck out there, guys. It is rough.